Hey everyone, Christian and I are going to take you through the home buying process. And whether it's your first time, if you're upsizing or downsizing, we'll have all the details for you. And we will also take you through three different price points: 300, 500, and a million. All three have different stages and different requirements. So we're going to talk about that with you.
That's right, Hilmar. And we're not just going to talk about the basics. We're going to get into that deeper stuff that, kind of gets overlooked in the middle of the process. So if you're ready to get started, let's get to it.
All right, let's get started. First things first, you need to set up a budget. And the way you're going to be able to set up a budget is getting pre-approved by a lender. Right, Christian?
That's absolutely right. And I'll tell you what, one of the biggest things that I've seen is somebody wanting to buy a house. They look at their dream home. Everything's absolutely perfect. They come to me and then I can't qualify them for the dream home. So I think it's incredibly important that you get pre-approved before you start looking in any way, shape, or form, because that gives you a budget. It shows your realtor that you're a serious buyer, and it shows sellers that you're a serious buyer, and it'll make sure that you're within your price range and you're not getting excited for a house that you can't afford.
Plus, in today's market, very rarely a seller will consider an offer without seeing a pre-approval. Like Christian said, the pre-approval, it's what it's gonna tell that seller that you already did your homework, you already know your budget, and you already know exactly what you can afford, because it's not only getting to the point of how much I can spend,
Right.
but it is also, can I afford the closing costs? Can I afford to pay my agent?
Right.
Can I afford to pay the inspection? Which we're going to talk about all of that. So stay tuned. Now that you have your pre-approval, let's get into some other details. We need to get your wish list. And I always call it wish and needs. Wish list, what I would love to have. Needs list, what really I need. And that goes especially for the $300,000 budget and first-time homeowners. How many bedrooms and bathrooms do you really need to be living comfortable in your house? What's the location? And exactly, because that also, it doesn't mean that if you got pre-qualified for, say, $500,000, maybe you don't want to spend that $500,000. So there is going to be a little bit of compromising, and that between you and I, or as your agents, will help you determine.
So in Knoxville, $300,000 can get you a lovely little home, a 3-bed, 2-bath in neighborhoods like Powell and Fountain City. These homes are often in well-established areas. You got to think classic rancher, like brick style rancher, or a classic craftsman style.
And let's be honest, Christian, for $300,000 here in the Knoxville area, you're not going to get a high-end property, but you for sure are going to get something comfortable that fits your needs, yours and your family's needs. And I also want to mention one thing that most people forget in home of this price range is the age of the systems.
Oh my.
Expensive ones, right? Like your AC or your water heater and roof. This can actually be a major expense. So I do always advise my clients to inspect them before they purchase the home. And when I say inspect them, is every professional in that, like if it is a roof, I want a roofing company or a roofer, certified roofer to come and look at it. Same for the HVAC and same for the plumbing. Because you got to remember, a home can look beautiful, right? Picture just for you, but things can come up and you don't want that.
Exactly. And you always have to budget for a home inspection, because if the roof or the HVAC is a little older than, I would say, maybe 10, 15 years, I would very much get that inspected, because there's always hidden costs that can come up. So let's say you buy a house, right? And 5 years down the line, you got to pay now 20 grand to replace the roof, but you didn't budget for that because you didn't inspect the house at the beginning. You didn't know what the life expectancy was. And now, bam, here's a surprise for 20 grand that you have to put into the house. So
that your insurance will not
will
cover.
not cover, will not cover. And I have seen it happen more than once. So I always warn all of my clients, please get home inspection. Please know what you're getting into so you can have the most successful future with owning your home.
Okay, let's talk about 500,000.
Ah, there we go. This is the good stuff.
Yes, 500,000 is where things start getting interesting, and you are also looking at a much larger home, much newer updates, or even new construction here in Knoxville. It can give you 4 bathrooms or 3 and a bonus, or
Sure.
even 4 and a bonus, 2.5 bathrooms, 3.5 bathrooms.
The cool thing is that homes in this price range can usually come with some updated features and upgraded features as well, kind of like an open floor space, right? Updated technology as well, maybe your Alexa smart home type of deal, maybe your Google Home, whatever you really feel like. And most importantly than anything, an updated kitchen, which an updated kitchen can just make a lot of things a lot easier. Plus, you may start seeing larger lots, which also comes with hidden costs of lawnmowers, right? Lawn care, possibly having to buy grass to plant grass because your grass died. New construction, okay? So there's a couple of hidden fees that come with there, and another thing to keep in mind is an HOA, especially if you've got new construction. Okay, I'm not a big fan of HOAs. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right up front, but they are a necessary evil, right? Because you do need them for, regulatory maintenance of a neighborhood, right? If it's not there, if it's not in place, I have seen it happen. I used to live in a neighborhood that had an HOA. The HOA disbanded, and nobody gave anything about the common spaces anymore. And now it's not as pretty as it used to be. So, as much as I don't like them, HOAs can be a very necessary and very helpful thing for a community. So when purchasing in this price range, please keep in mind you have hidden costs when it comes to maybe a bigger lot, maybe some of the upgrades that you might have to do, or maybe some of the upgrades that it'll cost if you're doing a new build, and HOA fees as well.
And also, it's not that they're hidden per se, because you're going to know up front, sure, but you might not know how much it costs.
Right.
Like for my new construction, this home that I'm living in, the builder, the lot was larger than most of the lots. And the builder said, do you want to plant the grass from this point out? And I said, no. Well, by the HOA, I still have to have grass in that area. I cannot have dirt. And it really did cost me about $1,500 to finally get the grass growing, when I could have it cheaper if I were to be smarter and tell the builder, go ahead and put the grass there, and I only have to water it.
Sure. So maybe not necessarily hidden fees, but fees outside of your monthly payment. All right, so we talked about 300,000, we talked about 500,000. Now let's talk about 1 million plus, right? So this is where we start getting into that luxury living, right? These are custom built homes, expansive layouts, high-end finishes, and even some waterfront properties. You might be looking at areas like Sequoia Hills, where the houses have great rich history, but with great amenities. They give that historic charm mixed with luxury, so you really get kind of the best of both worlds in a place like Sequoia Hills. And not only a place like Sequoia Hills, but now we also have Fort Loudon Lake. That is going to have stunning lakeside views for your wonderful luxury $1 million plus lakeside property.
Right, Christian. Those homes are amazing, stunning, but with that also comes some additional costs.
Sure.
Right? Because those homes may require camera system, like security system. Maybe you have a really expensive garden that you need to pay for somebody else to maintenance those for you. In-ground pools, those are also expenses that you may not have the time to do yourself. So just budgeting for all of that, not only if I do really qualify for a home, because a lender will qualify you for that amount.
Sure.
The lender don't know exactly how much the rest of it will be.
And we might know how much it'll be, but legally I'm looking at your debts, I'm looking at your income, I'm looking at what the house costs, and that's it, right? I'm not taking into consideration any sort of extra curriculars, if you will.
Unless they are within, say, the HOA, it's part of your home,
for sure,
and that is counted as an expense. But if you do have a luxury home, 1 million plus, and you do have waterfront, and you want to, put your boat through, you may have to put a dock. That is very expensive, depending on exactly what you're going to be building, and of course getting all the permits from the city.
Another thing that gets overlooked quite a bit is insurance, right? Because the higher your home costs, the more insurance you have to pay generally, right? Because, and especially with these, $1 million plus homes, they generally have either custom construction or some sort of rare material that really skyrockets that insurance. So pay attention, make sure you know what you're getting into, make sure you know what your home is, the specs of the home that you're buying, so you know how much your insurance is going to be. Call an insurance agent, make sure you know exactly what you're getting into before you purchase that home. All right, so the most exciting time has come. Your offer gets accepted. Now what? Right, so now this is usually where we begin the closing process, right? This generally takes 30 to 45 days. This is where the underwriter takes a look at all of your documentation, takes a look at the home, takes a look at the appraisal, and makes a decision on if you're based to buy that house or not. And last but not least, you'll also get a title check on the home to make sure that you are going to be the legal owner of that home and that nobody else is going to have any issue and nobody else can say, hey, I own this home, here's a title. No, I got title insurance, so I'm good.
And like Christian have described the whole lending process, within those 30 to 45 days, you're also going to be, it is a lot of stress, I have to say, because you're working with your lender, but you're also working with your real estate agent, hopefully us, that will be guiding you through the inspection process, repairs. So when it is your final walkthrough, after this lender have said you're good to go, and we're going to the house just to make sure that all of repairs that you were able to negotiate through the contract were done. And also, if you ask for the appliances or if you ask for anything else to stay with the home when you purchase it, just to make sure that they're there. So there you have it. It is a full overview of what it takes to buy a home, from setting up your budget to getting the keys to your house. And we really hope that it makes the process a little bit clearer and you have enjoyed it.
There's a lot of details that really goes into buying a home, and having the right guidance can truly make, a world of difference. So if you're looking to buy a home, whether it's $300,000, $500,000, or $1 million plus, Hilmar and I would be so incredibly happy to help you through this process. We have together 10 years plus of experience throughout the two of us. So make sure to give us a call. Our information is in the description box below. Always ready for you guys whenever you want.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you have enjoyed this video. Please share if you think it'll be helpful for anybody you know. Share the video, like the video, comment us, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss a beat.
And don't forget, you can also sign up for a Zoom meeting with us in the description below. It can be a 2-on-1, 1-on-2, a 1v1, whatever you need. We're there for you. We can help you out. Just check us out below.
See you next time, and happy house hunting.